Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Škoda T50. It's a Tier 9 Czech medium tank. It's located on the north spawn of Erlenberg, and it's under the command of the BassmanFromHell. Now, he's been playing this for a little while now, and he's getting rather good at it. He's not actually in platoon with anyone in this game, which is kind of unusual, but don't let that put you off, because I think we're about to have a decent battle to watch. Okay, 100mm gun. In fact, there's 3 different versions of the 100mm gun. They all differ by how much penetration they actually have. It's basically a development of a general purpose tank from 1947, and there were major changes in 1948. Now, Bassman's trying to get into a position so he can get shots on some of these enemy tanks. Oh, yes, gets a nice shot into the EBR. As you can see, it's a 3-shot autoloader. 100mm, 320 Alpha. Now, can you get another shot into that guy? Well, both of those tanks are actually the other side of the ridgeline. But we do see a Centurion 5-1, which is the Australian premium Centurion, trying to make his way up, and now we're in reload. Standard reload is 21.09 seconds, and you can see Bassman's got 19.26, and he's about to put another round into that Centurion and finish him off if he can get it done in time. Well, he actually fires for the rain because he's got more hit points to give. And he takes the Centurion out with his last shot. So that was good use of the shells, actually. He could have taken the Centurion first to guarantee the kill, but instead he actually wanted that Lorraine, because the Lorraine's got plenty of hit points. And we can still see him. And he gets another hit. And another. And he gets the kill shot as well. And now he's in reload again. Now you get 45 rounds of ammunition, so you can have plenty of reloads, 15 reloads in total. Okay. As you can see, selected 15 of each type of ammo from the APCR standard, and also some heat rounds, but they'll need to pull back because, yes, he was spotted there, and only 6 rounds of HE. In fact, I think he started the game with more APCR. I may have been wrong about that. He's been blowing nothing but APCR so far on the enemy. Okay, the M103, yes, he's pulled back, but we can see a KV-122 off in the distance. Oh, and he's in reload now, but the guy goes down. He's taken out by our standard B. Yeah, that EPR is looking mightily tempting. We've already had 1 round into him, and now we've got a Stewie Mill up there. And we can empty all 3 shells into him, and that's another kill. 3 kills now. This is a really good position for him. It may only be a 3-shot autoloader, but those shells are really moving. In fact, they do have very good velocity, 1400 meters per second. One of the good things about this tank. The other thing is its gun depression. It's 8 degrees of gun depression. It's got decent acceleration with a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, and decent view range as well. 400 meters view range, which is why he can see over the other side of the map to where the other enemy tanks are. And of course, they're being spotted as well by our light tanks on that side. Now, he's having a quick look over here at the moment. He could dash over onto that middle line and get onto the other side of the map, but at the moment he's watching that ELC. No, missed it on that one. Oh, he was spotted. I'll pop the reload actually if I was you to. He's only fired 1, but he might want the extra shell whilst he's waiting. He's holding with 2 for the moment. Okay, he has decided to cross the river. It's a bit dicey doing it here, but you have to do it sometime or other. Okay, he's across this section. Now he just needs to get across this short section where it's shallow. He's still only got 2 shots though. He could have popped the reload and he would have had 3 shells by now. Oh, that's the Centurion 7-1, the tier 9 one. It's a tier 9 game with tier 7 tanks in it. Yes, the Centurion's a serious opposition. Now, wondering who spotted him there. It may be the LTG on the enemy team. He's just pulling back to get behind cover, just in case somebody decides to shoot a round down on him. The armor on this tank isn't that fantastic. It's only 120 millimeters on the front of the turret, but the front of the hull is only 65, 40 either side and the rear. And on the turret, it's 80 either side and 60 on the rear. So it's not that, it's fairly light on armor to make it go quickly. So you don't want to get hit by a tank, even a shell from a light tank will be able to do some serious damage. Well, he's still got all his hit points at the moment, but I think he's about to engage that Centurion. 1, 2, 3, pumps all 3 in, backs up to get out of there before anybody can do any damage to him. Now he's loading the heat now just to make absolutely certain he gets those penetrations. He's also being very smart about this, because if you approach the Centurion from another angle, he's not going to be expecting it to come from a different direction, and it might work to his advantage. There's a Kunstpanzer across the river as well, and he takes out the M103 with one shot. Now, can he take out the Centurion with his next shot? I think so. Hello! Oh! Yes, he does, but he did take one round from the Centurion, but he survives. Okay, so there is an enemy tank across the river. He's got 5 kills now, one short of getting a top gun, and we've got a Kunstpanzer who's actually fairly healthy, but we're fully loaded now, so we can afford to pump a few rounds into him. And kill shot. Yes! Top gun! That was very worthwhile. Okay, only 5 enemies left on the enemy team. 2 heavies, both of them across the river, headed towards our cap. An FCM-50T and a T-54E1. That's the American T-54E1. Not the Russian T-54. Okay. Oh, mama. That's the T-54. And yes, we unfortunately, ouch, we took some hits.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Yes, we didn't want to meet him because of course he can do serious damage. And unfortunately, well, yeah, what can you say? I did say this thing doesn't have a whole lot of armor, but 6 kills in a game, it's not bad. And now the enemy is in a really difficult state because there was only 5 left on their team. Now, let's see if we can follow what's going on, because I think they're just around this corner. Can't see them at the moment, but I think our teammate's about to discover them. The SMVCC-56. He comes around that corner. He's about to see them. There they are. Now, he takes 1 round, but look at that. Arty shot comes in. The other one, the FCM's the other side. The SMV goes down, unfortunately. Yes, T-54E1 with the autoloader. He's a 1-shot, and he does go down. He's taken out by our standard B, and that now just leaves 4 left on the enemy team. And I think that that FCM-50 is still about to go down. And he does. And again, it's standard B. Now, he has 4 kills. Oh, that was Arty. I think that was their Arty. Or was it? No, it couldn't have been their Arty because it was coming in from the other angle. So, yes, I think that was one of our Arty. Okay, so, sorry for the free camera. You know I'm absolutely crap at this. I really don't know how to do it properly. Do the best I can so I can give you the game. Okay, we're following the standard B. He seems to be the guy who's doing the most damage other than the baseman. And looks like that ELC is about to meet his doom. Super Hellcat. Oh, and the kill shot goes to the Tiger 1. Now, if he does cut across here, he's more likely going to take fire from that ELC, and he's low on hit points. I know he says 318, but that is an easy shot for the ELC. Arty rounds whistling in. There's only 2 enemies left. ELC M90 and the GW. They think they're in the corner. I think if I was in the standard B right now, I'd make a move. Oh! He just took a shot. That was the ELC, and the ELC claimed him. Yeah, I did say that the ELC could possibly be a threat. The ELC, is moving north, and it looks to me like the enemy Arty might have been in the north. He might have moved across the map, and I think it's very possible that Arty shell that came in where we were looking at the 50T, I think he was actually up this end of the map. That's why the trajectory seemed all wrong. Okay, yes, he is up there because we just saw the tracer, and I think I know exactly where that enemy Arty is located. He's gone into the little area over here on the opposite side of the river. He's in amongst those trees. The Batchat's going to discover him. Oh, he's just discovered the ELC. He's just below us, and there's the GW. He didn't go across the island, but we're watching it unfold. Batchat will go for the GW first. Oh! Oh no, we didn't want that to happen. Now that leaves the ELC M90 still alive, and our Arty is over on the opposite side of the battlefield. We've got the Tiger 1 capping, but the ELC's rushing back to get a reset. Now, unfortunately, because nobody's watching what's going on at the moment, all I can do is head towards the Tiger 1 and hope that we see what happens next, because he's still got a few seconds to cap out. Tiger 1's only got 1 hit point left. Was it? No, sorry. My mistake. 551 hit points left. And he is hidden well inside that bush. So there's a fairly good chance the ELC might not see him unless he gets fairly close. We're about to cap out. And that's it. They have won by capping. Oh, $1 short and a day late. Well, that was an excellent game for the Bassman from Hell. He packed up his first ace tanker in the Škoda T50. Yes, you only get the scrolls once the first time, and he got them on this occasion. You also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. And he got his first mark of excellence out of that game as well. Got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. And he picked up 3 medals with that. The high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle overall, as well as the tank sniper for doing the most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more. And on top of that, he got the top gun for getting at least 6 kills. His win rate from that battle, 10,998, super unicum and a lot more. I get the feeling, though, he was kind of encouraged after taking out that Kunstpanzer, and he felt that he could go over there and take out the T-54 as well. At least he wanted to find where the enemy was, and unfortunately he found out the hard way because they were waiting for him to come across. So, a very good game indeed for the Bassman. Let's have a look at his team score. The highest damage in that game was 6,066 hit points to the Bassman. Second highest damage goes to the tank who killed him, T-54E1, managed 5,815. And the third highest damage in the game goes to the Standard B, the one we were following at the end. 2,743 hit points of damage went to him. When it went to kills, it's still the Bassman with 6 kills, the top gun. 5 kills went to the T-54E1 and 4 kills went to the Standard B and 3 kills to the Kunstpanzer that the Bassman killed as well. And the guy who actually capped out in the end, the Tiger 1, he picked up an Invader medal. When it came to base XP, yes, he's got that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,444 went to the Bassman, 838 went to the Standard B, and 787 went to the T-54E1 on the enemy team. So he's the only player to get over 1,000 in that game, and he beat the others by some substantial margin. And I think a lot of that is down to the fact that he was sniping at the enemy from a long distance away. There was nothing much they could do about it. He was perforating them all and getting kills. So very well done indeed. Let's have a look at detail. 29 shots fired, 26 direct hits on the enemy, 22 penetrations, 6,066 hit points, of which 3,102 were at more than 300 meters. There's that tanker sniper medal, because he did a huge amount of damage at very long range. He received 6 hits from the enemy. All 6 were penetrations. I did say the armor is fairly thin. You're about to see that in the armor profile, because we will do that. 2 spotted tanks, 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 6 were killed, 1,552 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 79,032 credits from the battle, but after ammunition resupply, repair, and consumables, he actually made a small loss. 23,113 credits, and it's all down to the ammo, I'm afraid. Yes, because that premium ammo, the heat rounds, were expensive. 2,166 XP for the battle, 9,747 for mission completion, and 11,913 experience points altogether. A superb battle to get your first ace tanker and your first mark of excellence on. What a game it was. Let's have a look at the armor profile for this thing. Yeah, it's fairly thin on the armor. You can see here the front of the vehicle, 65mm coming up to 99 with a slight angling, but it's a very big lower plate, you might say. The upper plate is a bit more well angled because it's 65mm again, but it's well angled back, so you've got about 104. And these 2 plates here, God knows what those are, but they're either side of the driver, and those plates are 80mm actually. As I said on the turret, there's 120mm at the front, but it's only actually directly at the front. And then you can see that it's actually graded down to 100mm, but of course that's at a slight angle. So you maintain the effective armor. So it's 124mm effective there, but it goes up to 157 or 160, and you can see you're more likely to ricochet if you aim for corners. There's a fairly good amount of armor here on the front, and I presume that's because it's the gunner is on this side of the tank. We'll see that in the modules, because those look like gunner ports or the tank commander's ports. But we can definitely see the drivers up front. The armor on top of the tank, 30mm there, 20mm at the back. Arty should be able to pen that if you put the round directly on top. Sides of the tank, it's 40mm, yes, on the hull. Slightly more on the turret, 50mm. More than likely, the autoloader mechanism is going to be in the bustle of the tank. So we'll see that in the modules any second. I'll just go to the live version so we can actually see what it looks like. Well, with a 100mm round, it's just going to go straight through. So yeah, you've got to treat this tank with kid gloves, because even a light tank is going to be able to hit you and do damage to you. So yes, he made the right decision. The moment that LTG spotted him, once he crossed the river, he needed to get behind cover, and he did exactly the right thing to move back, get behind a bit of cover so that the LTG couldn't shoot at him, couldn't snipe, and neither could the ELC, and that ELC was around until the end of the game, so we obviously know he's quite a good player. Let's have a quick look at the modules. Okay, get the big view up. Okay, right, now we can see the driver sitting in the front, up in the center, and we've got the tank gunner on the left-hand side. The TC's just behind him, and the loader is on the right-hand side of the tank. Funnily enough, the loader's got the radio. And of course, yes, there is that mechanism for the autoloader in the bustle of the turret. There are ammo racks right alongside of the tank, directly underneath the turret. So again, if you're aiming for an ammo rack, you want to aim just underneath the turret to get it. There's another big ammo rack well down in the base of the tank. You're not likely to hit that though because the tracks are in the way. We've got a fuel tank at the back in the same area, in that wings area, and of course that is slightly angled because we've got spaced armor coming in there and then the actual main armor there, so it might deflect the shells down into the tracks before it actually allows you to get a penetrating shot. And of course the fuel tanks are either side of the engine with the transmission directly at the rear. So if you want to make this thing go bang, aim for the bustle or directly underneath the turret, but with the caveat that you might actually get that angled armor and it might just deflect down into the tracks. But yes, that's where all the modules are on Škoda T50. So thanks very much to the Bassman from Hell. He obviously he sent this one in hoping we'd get this one done for a replay. And oh yes, but oh boy, we would do this one for a replay. Yes, he did make that big mistake crossing the river. They were waiting for him. They knew he was coming, and they knew they could just unload straight into him, and every shell would count, and it did. But it was a good game right up until that moment, and then obviously it went very bad, very pear-shaped, very quickly. But it was a great game anyway for the Bassman, and he came out on top with the top in all 3 columns. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, gets these videos noticed by other people. And thank you for watching.